However. Okay, we are recording. I am on with Lilly. It is
Hello.
hello. It is April 13th, 2020. It is a Monday, but it is 3 hours difference. So it is 10:40 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. For me.
For you. All right.
Yeah.
So you have made the games again. Well, unofficially.
Yes, unofficially.
And we've discussed Wednesday. The used to be handout would go Wednesday.
Yeah, I think invitations are supposed to go out on like the 15th, I think, which is Wednesday. So I hope they go through with that. I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so too. And so biggest, like I was we were talking off record, is that I've always found it amazing, your mental state and your mental drive. And so what are some of the things that you're doing to keep that edge, to not just survive this quarantine / in-home thing, but ways to deal with it, almost approaching it as if you would like workout or training? Because one of the things, like I said, you're always been good at is you approach most things like you approach training. So what are some things that maybe you're doing that are making you successful?
Well, I really enjoy having the time to actually like cook my meals and then eat them right after I cook them. So I've been taking the time to actually do that instead of meal prep. Meal prepping is great, but when my lunch is sitting in my backpack for 6 hours before I have to eat it is kind of, so I'm enjoying that, which is very nice. And then I get to train pretty much all day now, which is cool, but I don't get to coach, which kind of sucks. But it's also like I was balancing school and coaching, and that just took up so much time. So, right now it's just like a lot. Some people are really stressed right now. I'm just like chilling. So I get to train and eat all day. So that's kind of nice.
But it is nice.
It's gonna be over eventually. My senior year kind of got like messed up towards the end, but like I don't really care for what we missed out on. Like, we missed senior ball, and I already had a dress and everything, and I'm pretty sure that's canceled. But like, most people were probably like crying over it, and I'm just like, I can't control that. So it is what it is, and we might not get to have an actual graduation, but I feel like that has more of an effect on other people than it does on me. I don't know, like 10 years from now, am I really going to be like, oh my gosh, I missed my senior ball, like my graduation? Maybe, but right now it's like, it doesn't have as much of an effect on me than others. But graduating high school is like a really big like milestone, but it's not like I'm not graduating. I just don't get to sit in a huge arena for 5 hours with a bunch of people, and I'm fine with kind of missing that, but I know other people, like, that's what they're I'm playing with this. That's what
fine.
I don't know, that's their motivation. Like, oh my gosh, graduating, walking across the stage. For me, it's like, I don't care. But that's just me.
Yeah. And
I don't care.
I don't feel like you're discounting
We get to
others.
graduate in a huge arena. We graduate in our bedrooms on Zoom. Graduating is graduating. Am I gonna go to college? Yes, I hope so. There's no reason why I shouldn't graduate, but I have good grades. But yeah.
Okay. Well, and I think, like I said, that's your thought process too, is you understand one moment doesn't define you as a person
Yeah.
in your entirety. You have so many things, and not coaching right now doesn't mean you're not a coach. And
Yeah. I'm
not
still doing like Zoom workouts with some people, so
see,
that's fun.
so is that fun? Is that okay? How does that been
Yeah,
for
it's
you?
fun. It's different.
Yeah. You have to, it's challenging as a coach kind, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not on Zoom with like the girls that I coach. It's more of like old teammates that are like, "Hey, we're bored. Do you want to like coach us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?"
But that's awesome, I think.
Hmm.
All right. So yeah, and I think like what you said about just because people aren't going to be there to see you graduate doesn't mean you're not graduating.
I don't care.
It's it's just
Mhm.
part of the journey, and the journey is a whole big thing. And like you said, now if it meant we weren't going to graduate,
Yeah, that would be a little different.
I
I'm
think
just ready for college.
so. Now, have you applied? Where are you going? What are you
Oh,
thinking?
my plan is to go to this like community college in Elk Grove. Well, I live in Sacramento, but it's like a street off from being Elk Grove. So, um, it's called, well, CRC, Consumnes River College. It's community college. I'm gonna go there for 2 years, and then I want to transfer to Sacramento State and just stay local. And like in California, community colleges, the first 2 years are free, 100% free. So, well, I mean, there's little things that probably cost money, but like that's cool. But I don't, once again, I'm not really all college life. So I don't really care. I feel like I don't care about a lot of these things. Like I do care, but at the same time, it's like a lot of this stuff is not a big deal for me. I've got other plans, like I work and I mean CrossFit, but I'm also like want to save up to buy a house. And I mean, I'm like 17 years old and I want to save up to buy a house. Like, yeah, that's me. It's just I'm a little different than most people.
Well, so and then
So
now,
it's really not that big of a deal to me. Like the little things, like I don't want to be in a sorority in college. I just, I'm choosing to go to a community college just to stay local. And it also like saves a lot of money, even though like, I mean, my mom, she, she told me like, if I want to go to a 4 year, like she pay for it. Like, okay, but I'd rather just go to a community college and stay local. And she's kind of like, what? What's wrong with you? But she doesn't really care either. So it's like, I mean, she does care, but it's
yeah,
like
she's
my
been around you.
decision.
She understands that's
She'll
just you.
tell me whatever I wanted.
So how do you think, or yeah, like I guess, what do you think? Because that's your thought process with a lot of stuff. That's part of the reason why, like I said, I liked you, and I was like, oh man, I love that she's letting me coach her, because I'm learning like, well, I got to toughen up. I got to just not let this moment define
Hmm.
my whole day and this and that. And so, if you can, if you kind of really know, like what are ways that you do that? Because it is, you really are like, no, I mean, college is cool, but it's a stepping stone to adulting, and it's not my, plus I'm not sitting there seeing how much I can drink, and I don't really want to put
Nah,
myself in those
yeah.
positions. And you're like, I'm also working towards things and have goals.
Hmm.
And so basically, I guess the question is twofold. What are ways that why, like, how do you focus on that, or why is that important to you to think that way? And secondly, um, what do you think, how do you become okay with that being different from other people? Because that has derailed me in my life several times about, wow, is being different, like placing an importance on difference as opposed to saying, wow, I'm unique. I go to, oh, I'm different. Whereas you're like, no, I'm just different, and in a good way, like without judging other people, like, well, geez, I don't know why they would do that. You're just like, I just don't do that. That's not
Yeah.
important to me. If you can make sense of
Well,
that long-winded question.
so I mean, I keep saying that.
That's
I don't
okay.
really, I don't know. Like, mm, I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, I'm not that much different. I
No.
mean, a little bit, but like everybody's different in their own way. So I would just, a lot of my friends, like they support me and that's cool. But I don't know how to, wait, what was that? I don't know
So
what I'm
basically,
trying to
like,
answer.
if you know why it's okay for you to be different. Now, like you said, one of the things is your support system. You put people around you who are good and support that
Mhm.
decision and
Oh
support
yeah.
you, which I think is a huge deal because
Hmm.
that's the mentality.
Well, I would just say like I mean I have goals and being I don't know, like I was talking about college, like is being in like a sorority gonna help me achieve my goals of going to the CrossFit games? Like no, so I'm not gonna do that. Is being local, staying really close to home so I can save money and just go to school. Like it's like literally so close to my house and just stay close and maybe that'll help me achieve my goals. Yes, that will. So I'm gonna do that. Like that's when it comes like that's where I'm gonna set myself up for my own success and like the I don't know how to explain it, but
No, I think that's good. You're not waiting for somebody to save you. You're like, okay, I'm going to set
mhm,
myself up for success, like meal prepping or cooking your food or not having to rely on, um, okay, is somebody going to make something that I want to eat that I know I should eat when I want to eat it? Like, but I think that is a huge, some people look at that as a sacrifice or maybe not even missing out, I guess,
I
but
don't feel like
that's
I'm
like what
missing
you
out on
said, you
anything.
prioritize.
Mhm.
And then it becomes, you know there's so much more under your control now because you don't rely on externals
Yeah.
to make your success.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. But one of the
Yeah.
things is, because that's your natural, that's why I wanted to record this part is, and I knew it was going to be interesting how I asked it and how you responded, because you're like, well, that's just what I do, like that's what's
Yeah, it
important to
is.
me. um
I mean, I've always like kind of like I've always done I mean, I did gymnastics for a super long time, so I was always like different like that. Like I spent my after school time doing gymnastics from I got out of school at 3. I did gymnastics from 4 to 8:30 every single day. So that was definitely different than other people. So I've always just kind of been like that person that just is all slightly different, but that's okay. I mean, everybody's like that, but I don't
well,
know.
and
I'm
that's
just,
why I'm doing these videos, is because I know, having seen the way people look at you, or and they're like, and talk about you in a great way, getting to hear the comments of when you were working out and they were like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. Something simple like you and the that bag, the lovely, lovely bag at the games,
what about it?
how you were attacking it, and people, it wasn't
Oh, the sandbag.
sandbag. Now, to hear the way people like we're talking about you, they were fangirling and fanboying the
I
crap
didn't
out
hear
of
about
you.
that.
I know, but you didn't what?
I didn't hear about that.
I did tell you that, because what happened is, when I was watching, all they were talking about is how amazing you were. They didn't care what place you were in. They didn't care anything else. Everybody
That
stopped and was like,
sandbag tipped me over.
yes, it did. Yes, it did. Now, if I was really good, I would insert the video of that sandbag tipping you over in this part. I
Okay.
wish I hopefully will get better and then be able to do that. But
Mm.
that's what I got to hear. Is I got to hear, basically it was, there's no reason that girl should even be able to do that. And you were like, let's go. And they're like, as soon as you got back up and went after it again, they were like, well, there was a lot of 4-letter words, but they were all like, yes, hell yeah, come on, let's go. Like, that girl's amazing.
Were you watching
like,
that?
what?
Were you watching that?
Yes.
Oh.
And I actually videoed it. I will send that video. I've got to find it. I videoed it from
It's a
the
funny
back where I
video.
was. And that one is one of the parts I always thought that made me really, really proud just to be around you, because I was like, none of this is for anybody else. Like, I could sit there and have a conversation with every person here and explain the idea of her tipping over with that sandbag. Not only did that just make her more angry, I was like, that's probably why she's going to be able to, oh, yep, and move it. And it was like, because like you said, you want to control what you can control, and not in a controlling way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but not in a detrimental way, in a very positive, like, I'm not going to rely on outside circumstances and experiences to dictate my internal. Like, you don't do that. Now, yes, you're human and things happen and it affects you. I understand. Like, that's, everybody does. But something simple like, would it possibly be nice to go to a college in some other place? Maybe. But prioritize, I want to be close so I can train. I want to be comfortable. I want to be around my support system. I want all these amazing things that you're like, so it makes it easy to make the right decision.
It all just kind of like makes sense for me to stay local. I can train at my normal gym. I can work at my job, and it works out.
I like
Works out
that.
best.
So, and that's one of the things I think I want to get people, let people experience about you, is your drive, for lack of a better term, really is what it is, your drive. Because you're so driven, you're still personable, you're still fun loving, you're still caring, you're still goofy, you're still, you know what I mean? You're not a 35-year-old woman or even a 60-year-old, like, oh no, I can't go out. You're like, oh, you have fun still. You know what I mean? So it's, a lot of people, I think, especially people who want what you have in fitness and want to, emulate you, they think the word sacrifice is a bad thing. And it's not. It's more of a prioritize as opposed to sacrifice. Because I don't feel like you think, oh, I'm missing out on stuff, because you say, I get to go work out a lot and I get to eat all day. And I know for a little thing, you like your food, and that's pretty fantastic. Like, you could eat as much as I could, and that's pretty impressive. I was like, when we took you out to dinner, you're like, oh, she's still going. Okay, I guess we're still eating.
Yeah, I was hungry.
It's hungry. But I think that's what I want people to understand, is that you switch that around, and from sacrifice to prioritize makes a huge difference, because it's the same with, I have to go do this workout, as opposed to, oh, I get to work out. You're going to approach it totally different. Like, I get to have a job, as opposed to, oh, I have to go coach. And that is your natural state. Now, I know that still some days that's not easy, and some days, whatever, we are all human, but that's what I want people to get to know about you. And I wanted to interview you for, because that's one of the most amazing things about being around you. And
Thank you.
Just that you're not missing out on something because you have goals and priorities. And as an adult, a lot of adults, I hope, will get something out of this and realize, oh man, maybe that's what I need to do too. But one of the things, like I've talked about with you before too, is you're careful on what you focus on. whether it's a workout or school, or, you know, you could have a bad workout. In the very few bad workouts I've ever watched or known you to have, some of them have been during online qualifier or at bad times. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh, that's not a nice time for a not super good workout for me. That's not good. And you're like, well, I have some letters of 4-letter words that I want to say right now, but you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to just attack this the best I can. And that doesn't mean you're impervious to negativity. It doesn't mean you're superhuman. It's just that I think you spend your time on what you can affect. And to me, like I said, that, like, watching you come into the stadium at last year's games, that's why I just watched The Fittest. And I remember, I was so sad because I was like, oh, I remember her in the top. And you were just, your eyes were just non-existent because your smile was too big, and it was amazing. And you were just like, this is so awesome. It was that smile right there. And it was wonderful to be around, you know? So, yeah, I'm glad you took the time to spend time with me and to do this and to, you know, reach out. I liked your last several posts about redoing stuff at workouts. That, please tell everybody what happened. You did that ruck workout again, and there was a comment that you laughed about. Some girl made a comment.
Oh, I thought it was funny because I've done that. So I did that at the CrossFit Games. I did it, the ruck run. I did it at the CrossFit Games. I did it in November, and then I did it again like a week ago. And I just thought one of the comments was funny. She was like, "Oh my gosh, imagine actually redoing that workout." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I've done it 3 times, but I thought that was funny.
That is funny. But
I
that's
didn't comment back and say I'd done it 3 times. I just was like, huh, yeah.
and that's, you know, that's your willingness.
Tough workout.
That's that, yeah. But that's that willingness to, do you know where that comes from? Maybe like the willingness to constantly want to be better, or like instead of, like, when something comes your way, instead of being like, ooh, that was like whatever, even if you did good, those aren't always the workouts you redo.
Mm,
You
I
kind of
don't
know
wait.
where that comes from?
Wait, I don't know what you're asking.
Like, where does it come from? Where does the desire to want to improve on something that you've already done?
Oh, well, workout's a workout. So I mean, either way, it's gonna be like a good workout, and I think it's just good to test things to see where I'm at also. But I really don't mind redoing workouts. That's just me. Like, some people are like, "Oh, I did that workout. I know exactly what it feels like." Like, it's just a workout. So, um, I don't know, it's just a way to improve.
Listen, I think that's as a knowledge bomb as it can be. It's just a way to improve. And once again, it says a lot about how you approach things. So, like I said, I do really appreciate you taking your time. You have an amazing Monday, please. I hope you had a great Easter. Happy Easter.
Thank you.
And tell your mom I said hi, because I like her. And hopefully she's still running and doing fun stuff, and her headaches never come back. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, take care of yourself, and I look forward to, please remind us and let us all know when you get information about you being at the games, whatever that's going to look like. All right. You take care, girl.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too. Bye.